Good morning. It is Saturday, January 24th, I think. I don't know. A big storm is about to hit most of the country. This is day 3, technically, of my 30-day art challenge. So this is just my check-in. I'll show you the piece of artwork that I'm working on slowly, 5 to 15 minutes a day of art. So I do have a canvas that I'm working on, but also a sketchbook. Or I also thought I would include working on past artworks if I need to rephotograph them, post them to my website. I'm also counting that because that is also necessary artwork to do. Coffee is brewing, which you probably can hear, so I'll be recording what I do today with some artwork. But I do have my morning coffee, even though my stomach is a little off today, but I have to have my coffee to get going. And hopefully I will not dip a paintbrush into this. I do need to change my paint water, which I will do. It is a beautiful, beautiful shade of blue. Yes, this used to be a flower vase. And I'm just going to do a little bit of work on this painting today. Little ASMR for you. So, this is something that happens often with abstract art. I'm looking at this painting thinking, is this done? I worked on this yesterday, and sometimes when you walk away from a painting and come back to it later, you feel differently about it. That's something I love about abstract art. So, I'm going to have to look at this for a while. I might have to work in my sketchbook until I decide. Although I do see little areas that I would prefer more work done. I like layers. This really is not a lot of layers, in my opinion. So I might go back in with more layers, even some gesso in some areas. We'll see. Okay. I'm going to grab what has become my favorite brush for this painting. It's kind of a flat, very bristly brush. I'm pretty sure I bought a bunch of these on Amazon. Now we can definitely add more layers to this. I see some areas that are a little too see-through for my liking. And there's also the matter of what we are brave enough to maybe change completely. Can be a hard choice. However, many times taking that chance is worth it because, yes, the painting looks completely different than when it initially started. However, it feels right, it feels better. And I'm definitely going to go in with more light colors here. Although I always start with my favorite color, blue. maybe even a little more bright areas of pink. I like the shapes going on in this one, so we're not going to mess around too much with the organic shapes. Or we might. We might. Oh, I like that texture. Which is also why I like to use gesso, because it creates textures like that. So, how are things going so far in this 30-day challenge? It's only day 3. However, I am enjoying it. I'm also enjoying recording these videos. I'm doing a less edited style. I used to put a lot of pressure on myself in the past to do high editing, but this is just simpler. Pick up the camera, show what I'm doing for that day, which I plan to do a bit of something every day, and just go with whatever happens in the video. It has been enjoyable. Now, I'm looking over a book that I bought in 2021 when I first started painting again after I left my job that I was at for 13 years working in the airline. I bought the book The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. And many of you might know this book or have heard of it. It's just a really good inspiration for artists, creatives all together. And I found a chapter where I left a post-it note and highlighted quite a lot and realized I got my channel name from what Julia, the author, talks about. In creative recovery, it's not necessary that we change our beliefs. It is necessary that we examine them. Creative recovery is an exercise in open-mindedness. She just really has some good thoughts on being creative, what it means to be creative, how to remain creative, and I think I'm going to dig back into this book again, starting right from the beginning, and see how it helps me through this 30-day journey of making art daily. So here's a closer look at some of the work on this painting that I did today. I did about maybe 10 minutes. I am really loving this color combination. Just added some more of the deep blue, some more layering. As you can see, I love texture. And you can see there I really want to add some more to get that even deeper blue. But I love texture. Something I did yesterday, I had these little pieces of dried acrylic paint and I kind of plastered them on there to add texture. There's some texture that I don't even know where that came from, but I like it. I love the layers. Love, love layers. And I love that hot pink against the blue with that beautiful, beautiful gray green. And unfortunately, I am running low on that hot pink. You would think that's not a color that I would use. Pink is not one of my favorite colors, but I love mixing that pink with a black to make a beautiful, just a darker pink color. But I love how that pink stands out. So that is some of the work that I did today. I might have time later to do another 10 minutes or even to start another one. Sometimes I do work in 2 paintings at once. So thank you for tuning in and joining in with me to help keep me accountable for the next 30 days to do a little bit of artwork every day. And there's the painting again. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining me again. Here's some more of my finished artworks, which you can find on my website, pennyjeffersart.com. You can find originals, prints, merchandise. Subscribe and follow along on this journey. See you tomorrow.